Welcome to Wisdom Exchange TV. My name is Suzanne F Stevens, Chief Edge Optimizer for the Ignite Excellence Group of Initiatives. Today, we are in Cape Town with a leading lady in business, a social entrepreneur, Gia Whitehead. She's Sustainable Director and founder of Tertiary School in Business Administration. A challenge for many organizations is sustainability, regardless if you're for-profit or not-for-profit, particularly when relying on funding. What experiences provided you with the knowledge to attain funding, and very successfully, I might add?
I think firstly it's around having a story that you're passionate about and having a project that is tangible and real, that is doing real grassroots empowerment. And what better than education, where you're really giving people the skills to go out and be self-sustaining. So having and being passionate about it. So if I'm going out and selling it, I'm selling it because I know that it's working, I know that it's needed. And that's the first step. And also for funders to see they're not only believing in the project, but in the individual, that they know that you're the one that's able to do it and they have confidence in you.
What gives people the confidence in you?
I think it is about, initially it's difficult because you don't have credibility. You're the startup institution that no one knows about. But as you start demonstrating that you have the results, that you're making a real difference in people's lives, and that you are, dedicated and hardworking and passionate, and we have a team of people that this is what they do, and when they're sleeping, they wake up in the night worrying about it. It's not just a job. So that's the one part. And we're fortunate to have individuals from other credible institutions, universities and corporates who came on board because they saw value in what we were doing. And once you have one partner on board that sees that credibility, so it helps to build other interest.
What was the most useful experience that allowed you to raise 80 million rand for operating expenses since 2004, with over 9 million invested in reserves?
So I think in the beginning it's about believing in the entrepreneurs and the people doing it. But what we found is we got people involved in developing this. So it wasn't like we were doing it alone. We'd have task teams and we'd say to people, give your input, get involved in the curriculum, in designing and thinking about visioning about where we're going. And so that some of those funders and people actually felt that they were part of this, part of creating something together. And so there was buy-in right from the beginning. And you found that those people became the people who started volunteering and lecturing and giving money. So that was one of the ways. And then over time, it's about the students and the product. So having role models and having individuals that can come and you can show the funders, look what we've created. And these are students, and until you meet the students can you really see who demonstrate all the values and all the qualities that we say we're trying to create. So they are leaders, they are entrepreneurs, they can engage in conversation, they can be involved in helping people start up businesses. So it's about, at the end of the day, then showing a tangible product and a model that people see as something that can be replicated and can be used elsewhere.
With some of those corporates, seeing the product, which is the student at the end of the day, saying, I want more of that product. And the only way I'm going to get more of that product is by investing in the institution. Is that what's happening as well?
Yes. So in South Africa, there's something called Black Economic Empowerment, and there's a scorecard. And so companies are required to spend X amount of money on corporate social investment, on enterprise development, and on other areas like management and employment equity. So we're actually addressing a need for these companies, and not is it just a tick box exercise that at the end of the day they have to give their money, but our students can actually move into the business, they can add value, and that's incredibly important. And so we're offering a solution that's innovative, that companies can get benefits on all those different areas and components. So for them, they can really also build morale within their organizations, because their employees will come and lecture. And so it's both that feel-good element, and to have a flagship project and something whereby they feel that they're contributing to South Africa and where it's going, and then also that they're able to get their points. So we really can provide that solution.
You're filling a gap in the marketplace that has to be legally fulfilled, you're not resting on your laurels. You're making sure the product is quality, so you're getting them back, which kind of leads to my next question. But in regards to what systems have you implemented to ensure that you continue to get that funding?
We're realizing that in terms of the times and recession and things, that it's not that easy, and companies have less money to spend because these budgets are on net profit after tax. So if there aren't any profits, there's no money to go around. And so we're having to be innovative. So we're not anymore seeing ourselves and seeing the main part of our income to be coming from donors, even though we are reliant on that. We're moving away, and we're saying, how can we look at generating non-donor based income, both through income generating activities. So we have a number of activities that we have underway. Also thinking about more creatively around how we can approach corporates and offer them our IP, using the knowledge that we have and the skills that we can offer to their employees and other things in order to generate income rather than it's a handout. And then making sure that we can also set aside money that we can build up a capital base and use the interest to then fund the university. So we're having to look at that differently. And one of those is through income generating activities. Another one is replicating. So replication initially is more because we want to create access, but also it's around building the brand, showing that we're relevant, proving that, and that can be an income generator in the long term by reaching out and establishing more and more of these. So we're looking at a number of different initiatives to really grow that non-donor base.
Kudos to you for doing that. Can you give us a couple examples of some of the projects that you are implementing that you're hoping to generate enough income?
One is we will, in our community in Eden, we do trail runs and events and conferences and activities for the community and other people on the ground. Another one is called TSiBA Executive Education, where we're providing training back to companies. So people are saying how we want to package some of those courses that you do and to help employees fast track through an organization. Other examples are through looking at the way we invest our money and the way we can make sure that we can leverage that to then enable us to start more initiatives. Right? We also do a community training, and that the main focus on that is supporting entrepreneurs and teaching skills to other people, but that's growing, and there's a huge need for people other than our students to access skills and to help them grow their businesses, and our students, and hopefully that through if we're teaching entrepreneurship, we need to be role modeling it. So it's around starting up other entrepreneurial businesses that can eventually feed back into the space.
So have you ever lost financial resources by a particular funder?
No, we have had decrease in amount of funding because of financial times, where funders have said, look, there isn't that much to go around, so they've had to decrease the amount that they had committed. And then funders who have exited, but through a clear strategy that we knew about. So they've said we can commit for a period of 3-4 years, and after that we're going to move on, and we have to find other funders. So absolutely, and that's the nature of corporate. Mm-hmm. So we need to also look more at building our individual giving, so individuals who are passionate and leave a legacy.
In 2002, you were referred to as South Africa's 100 Brightest Young Minds.
It's an initiative that was started probably about 12-15 years ago, where a number of companies came together with an organization and looked for top students. They chose 100 students from all universities across South Africa to bring young people together who were thinking, and they could get and pose questions and look at the future of South Africa and where they were going. And the criteria was both academic but also around leadership skills and insights, and how you grappled with questions. So I was selected and then attended a conference where it was kind of a way in which corporates could use these young minds as brains for thinking on projects that they were wanting to do. But it was a wonderful opportunity to engage with other young minds, and that's something that has continued. So that's a database of people that still are in contact, and it's amazing to see where those young students have gone and grown, and they've all done fabulous things.
A good initiative from the sounds of it, and very smart on the corporate part.
Yeah, that's a way that they can also employ, minds into their business.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you the question, how do you get those meetings to have those conversations and then actually approach the funding conversation?
It's a mix of things. There is a lot of cold calling, going straight to the top, going to the CEO or the head of HR or corporate investment, and just getting into that diary. Often it's around using networks, so through people that I know, getting recommendations and using their name to make that appointment. Once you're in the room, it's not difficult if you have a story to tell that you believe in and that you have tangible results. What works best is bringing people to the campus and meeting the students, because once they meet the students and engage, that's where they really see what you're doing, and that's the product. So once individuals or companies feel the energy and engage, that's where the main interest is. And then there is a lot of tedious proposal writing and trying to build relationships. And again, as I was saying, it's about forming long-term strategic partnerships and building relationships that take long. It's not, the cycle isn't, there are times where you walk into office and it's sold, and other times where it takes years to build those relationships, and often through people lecturing or coming as guest speakers or engaging or volunteering, so that relationship grows.
And I guess that would be a good strategy too, to actually get somebody to be a guest speaker, and that they see firsthand what you're capable of.
Get them involved, in the beginning. And there are times where you do just straight ask for money, and sometimes you can't be afraid to ask, and that's something I've learned too, is sometimes people want to know why you're talking to them. They don't want you to be spending half an hour telling your story and wasting their time if they've got a busy schedule.
Now, your school has a high placement rate for students. What advice can you provide to students to increase their opportunities and chances of gaining employment?
The first is around having the academic knowledge and making sure that you're going into a business that you want to be in, that you feel you can add value and that you can give something, contribute. And then it is around the attitude. It's around learning how to engage, how to look people in the eye, how to prove yourself, and going in there as if you're coming to learn, as a developmental role, and that there's growth, and you can't walk into any company and know it all. You've got to be willing to learn and to start from the beginning. But as long as you have, that the mindset of being proactive and not going to walk into a company and expect people to tell you what to do and how to do it. You've got to be able to ask questions and to be willing to take on new things.